Deep within the frozen forest, near to its northern and western edge, a tall hooded figure crouched low to the snow-strewn ground. His face was obscured by the long shadows cast from the hood he wore, pulled down against the cold. As motionless as the frozen world around him, Indrith knelt, broad shoulders supporting a heavy pack. One long-fingered hand moved absent-mindedly back and forth across the worn hilt of a sheathed sword. He worked the leather of his glove over the metal surface by memory, knowing where each impurity lay. His legs held him steady with the practiced poise of a seasoned hunter. This, despite the fact that his booted feet were placed unevenly, one planted in the muddy snow, the other atop a rotting log. Indrith's free hand rested on his bent knee, slowly clenching and unclenching against the cold. The only part of the figure that moved with any speed were his eyes, which scanned the ground tirelessly and at a great pace. His gaze flicked forward and back, left and right, moving from mark to indistinguishable mark in the muddied snow. His thoughts were racing within his mind as his bright gray eyes traced the frozen ground, making sense of what would have seemed nonsense to others. A strand of long dark hair fell in front of his eyes as he gazed down. The young figure reached up and brushed the dark strands away from his face, tucking them behind one of his pointed ears. As he did, the elf felt a pang of cold as the snow on his glove touched his pale, freshly shaven skin. Indrith readjusted his gaze to the heavy boot prints scattered before him. The high elf let out a sigh as he rose to his full height, his lean yet powerful frame setting him a head taller than most of his peers. He was not fond of delivering incomplete reports, yet the details of what he had seen troubled him, and left him with more questions than answers. Despite this, what he had gathered from the faint prints was substantial, and likely would paint a more complete picture than what anyone else could have done. He turned to the patiently waiting faces of those close at hand, 3 soldiers gathered in a loose half-circle just a pace behind him.